Hello, and welcome into the championship race here in the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour, coming to you live from Five Flags Speedway. We're going to be here for 90 laps here in our championship race of this pilot season. So, championship race, let's check out the points. So, looking at the points here, we have Kyle St. Jean pacing the field with 224 points, and Ryan Cavey closing the gap, only 11 points here for the championship race. And to everybody's surprise, Ryan Cavey is not in the field tonight. So by virtue of the point gap, that would make Kyle St. Jean the champion of this pilot season here for the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. So congratulations to Kyle St. Jean, and congratulations on winning the Emblem Athletic Championship t-shirt here before the race is even over. So he's winning the championship, Max Verstappen style. So congratulations to him. Look forward to perhaps a closer battle as we move into season one. So now that we got the intros out of the way, let's go down to the track and let's go through the field here for the starting lineup. So starting in the back, we have not Anthony Callahan, we have Scott Elston starting in the 12th position, driving the 85 Live RC Chevrolet Camaro. On his inside, we have Kermit Henney, driving the Team Red, White, and Blue Toyota Camry. Ahead of him, we have Nicholas Giampa, who appears to be having connection issues. Going further in the field, we have Anthony Callahan, driving the D's Nuts 13, appears to be a Ford Mustang. On the outside of the next row, we have Zachary Wilt, driving the 04 Jegs yellow and blue Ford Mustang. On his inside, we're going to have Chris Fleming in the 5.6 Graphics lefty Chevrolet Camaro. Good looking paint with the purple chrome there. Further ahead on the outside, we have Dakota Malore driving the Rackley Chevrolet. On his inside, we're going to have Justin Raymond driving the Sundays are for the Kohort 199 Chevrolet. Going into the second row, we have Kyle St. Jean on our outside, our champion this year. On his inside, we have a first-time driver here in the cohort, being Brian Conover, driving the 97 Chevrolet. On the outside of the front row, another first-timer, Trevor Haley, driving the Mellow SRX Series number 12 Chevrolet. And consistent with what we've seen in the top three, another first-timer, bringing home P1 in the qualifying effort here at Five Flags Speedway. So congratulations to Connor Knowlton, taking home the Cohort Pole Award here in Five Flags Speedway in the championship race. So now that we got that out of the way, let's see how the racing is going to be here at Five Flags Speedway. So in the Cohort Late Model Stock Tour, we don't have any tires for any race that are 100 laps or less. So this being a 90 lap race, there will be no tires in the pits, so these drivers only have the tires on their car. Pace cars in the field, drivers are going through 3 and 4, heading to the 5-6 graphic restart zone. Green flags in the air. We have Connor Knowlton off to a quick start. Drive main and double file for 2x2 for P3 right there. So Mello settles in here into P3. Now we have Chris Fleming on the inside of Trevor Haley, who's had a rough start, perhaps. You know, he started up there in the top 3, and he's going backwards quickly. Wonder if there's something wrong with his car. Setup might be a little wrong. So we see he's just dropping back. But again, I'm going to caveat that no set of tires. So Trevor Haley, perhaps he's just saving more than the other drivers here in the field, and that's why he's falling backwards. Maybe knows exactly what he's doing. So we see Chris Fleming here on the outside of our champion, Kyle St. Jean. Still battling side by side. Oh, contact between our champ and Chris Fleming there. Contact's going to happen here in these late model stock series. hard to get around people, so we'll see a little more congestion. We have Dakota Malore on the outside here. Let him go on the inside. Anthony Callahan close, making contact. This is our closest battle on the track right here. We'll take a look and see what's happening up near the front as Connor and Connor Knowlton, Brian Conover battling here. It's a good battle here for the lead. See if we can ride along on Conover's nose here. If we close the distance a little bit. Looks to the inside. Can he? Oh. Connor leaves him room. Knowlton leaves him room on the inside, side by side. Let's go back out as we see drive main on the inside of here of Connor Knowlton here, side by side for the lead. 10 laps into this race. Connor with the crossover back on drive main's inside. Side by side for the lead. Sighting battle up here. You know, you almost wonder if them running side by side, running this hard, they've gapped the field a little bit. Maybe they're being too hard on their tires, so we're going to see how this race unfolds. You know, keep an eye on Trevor Haley. You know, he was starting in the top 3, so he clearly has pace. He's fallen all the way back to P8. So we're going to see if maybe that's the strategy. You know, fall back, save some tires, then come, you know, last 30 or 40 laps and start making your move. What I do want to highlight here is, as we see Mello getting into the wall there on corner exit, is these broadcasts, despite me saying coming to you live from Five Flags Speedway, these are broadcasted via the replay file. So as you can see there in the scoring and timing tower, that it says lap 13, now 14 of 96. Spoiler alert, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to have some good racing here later on. So we still see the battle for the lead. Conover's still not able to really pull away from Knowlton after making that pass. So still within 2/10. Closest battle on the track right here. We can go back and check. Now we're going to say right here in the lead as Connor, tries to make a move. You know, let's go, let's ride along on Connor's nose here. So I caught up with Connor before the race, and he mentioned Ryan Preece being one of his favorite drivers. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Ryan Preece's post-Daytona roll photo was something. As I'm talking, he gets a little loose there. This goes back to how aggressive are they being? Is it too early to be this aggressive? But yeah, Ryan Preece didn't look that great after Daytona, but guess what? My dude got back in the car and drove next week. Impressive man. Connor, you have good taste in drivers. Let's hope you don't find yourself rolling through the, I'd say the infield, but there's a little grass down there, so hopefully you have better luck than Ryan Preece did. So here we are. Now we have Mello closing the gap now. You know, 20 laps in, so we're those top two too aggressive on their tires, and is that why we have the 199 of Raymond catching these top two after they were seemingly pulling away, gapping the field. Now we see Mr. Raymond coming into the picture. 3-car battle for the lead. Throw a blanket on him. 0.3 of a second. Definitely closest battle. We have a battle in the back. Kermit Henney trying to get by Trevor Haley. Perhaps 0.2 gap, but We're going to cape right here with the leaders. Contact. Oh, looks like Mr. Raymond gets into the back of Connor. And yellow flag is out. Our first yellow of the race after we saw Mello right there get in the back of Connor. Let's do one more time here. So we have Justin Raymond get in the back. Let's see if we can ride along on his nose here. All right, so you see he was on the outside. He's looking to the inside. Yeah, you can see he has a lower entry because we have the front two running that midline entry. Justin Raymond takes a lower entry, and as he does that, perhaps carries a little bit too much speed, makes contact with Connor, spins him around, and Mr. Knowlton will have to find his way back through the field after starting in the top three. Seemingly he's going to go to the back of the field here. So we'll see how aggressive he was on those tires and if he's able to recover from that incident. But first caution of the race here at Five Flags Speedway. Again, this is our championship race with the championship already being decided by Kyle St. Jean. You know, we had 23 decent laps there, some good racing. I think some strategies are playing out with that tire conservation. You know, one set, you know, the tires that are on your car. So it's a balance of not falling too far behind, because regardless of how hard you're pushing, you're still going to have tire wear. So if you find yourself in the back of the field late in that race, you're still going to be, you know, 10-15% degraded on tires. So is that 10-15% going to allow you to drive through the field despite having faster tires or better tires, faster lap times? So we're going to see as it winds down here, but I'm going to take this opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsors here. So Emblem Athletics really just happened post-race. We just got them on board. I'll talk about them more throughout the race, but super excited to bring that announcement. And then 5-6 Graphics, they were on from the beginning of this season. They offered to provide a full paint for the champion, so congratulations to Kyle St. Jean on winning that 5-6 Graphics paint. But yeah, Emblem Athletics, yeah, I reached out, wanted to have a Kohort.
Front row, you can choose your line.
Wanted to have a Kohort store for members of the community, members of the league, to have some merch. So I reached out to Emblem Athletic. They created a storefront. I was really satisfied with the customer service of getting the storefront built. So then I reached out to them and seen if they were interested in any type of sponsorship opportunities for the Kohort. I had that call today, so we'll talk about that as the race unfolds. As we're through 3 and 4, heading into the 5-6 Graphics restart zone, we have Drive Main Brian Conover leading the field. Decent restart by everybody. You know, typically you have that leader that can go within that restart zone, gets a jump, as we see him pulling away now. Chris Fleming on the inside of Justin Raymond with Kyle St. Jean. Our champion. Contact between Chris Fleming and Justin Raymond there. Some good battle for P2 between Chris Fleming and Justin Raymond. Still side by side. Oh, Chris gets very close, has to put a little more wheel into it to stay off Mr. Raymond there in the 199. Sundays are for the Kohort Chevrolet. Great battle here for P2. This is allowing Brian Conover to gap him a little bit. But despite, you know, side by side, you'd think that that lead would be up to a second by now, but still, you know, they're sending it. Oh, contact. Oh, man. All right, let's go see contact between Justin Raymond and Chris Fleming. As I was just talking about how great of a battle they were having. So let's see here. So we have that slight contact there. And then let's see if we can ride on the nose. That's back with Zach Wilt. I don't know if the nose is going to be the best angle to see this, so let's bounce back out. TV. So as you can see here, Chris Fleming, Justin Raymond side by side. Let's see what happens here as they come to the corner exit. Plenty of space between them. No issue there. I tell you what, folks, we might have rewound a little bit too far. But this is a great opportunity to look at that paint by the 5.6 Graphics Chevrolet here in the 3.8 of Chris Lefty Fleming. Good looking paint. All right, so we have Mello on the outside, Chris Fleming on the inside. Okay, so I think this is where the accident's going to happen. So let's see if we can do a maybe rear chase. Do a chase view on Mello here. Chris Fleming went around. Perhaps check with Chris Fleming. This is the longest replay. Lots of time to analyze what's happening here. So let's bounce far chase. All right, so we see Mello running the high line, giving Chris Fleming the inside line. He's coming below the line, heading out for corner exit. He might be getting a little loose. Chris Fleming starts coming up to exit. And what happens? Wow. Did I rewind the entire race, folks? I know as soon as I hit play, the incident's going to occur. So we're just going to ride this out. It has to be right here. All right, here it is. So the incident, okay. So it looks as if Chris Fleming didn't go as low as he was on previous turns. Looks like he took a higher entry. And what that did is it caused some contact between Mello and Chris Fleming there on corner entry. Mello came down, got into the back of him. Here it is. Yes, as you can see here, Chris Fleming entering the turn really above the line there. We'd have to do some analytics to see how low he was entering on previous turns. Then we see Zachary Wilt getting in the back of the turned Chris Fleming. Slowest replay ever. Let's hope we tighten that up moving forward, huh? Goodness gracious. So second caution of the race, Justin Raymond. I don't know if Justin Raymond's at fault there. I think he just thought that Chris Fleming was going to enter the corner a little bit lower. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so he took the turn, just got Chris Fleming just enough just to send him around. So we got our second caution of the race for contact between Raymond and Fleming. Brian Conover leading the field. Justin Raymond, contact, but still riding P2 in Sundays for the Kohort Chevrolet. Kyle St. Jean, our champion, riding P3. Zachary Wilt, we saw him make some contact with the turn. Chris Fleming, he appears to be all right. Just checking out the steering. And Trevor Haley, we talked about him early. Fell back from the start of this race after starting in the top 3, but finds himself back in the top 5. So perhaps, as we're nearing this midway point, he wants to make sure that he finds himself back up the front in contention to win this race. Dakota Malore in the Rackley Chevrolet P6. Connor Knowlton down 6 positions from the start of the field in P7. Our pole sitter, we saw that contact there that sent him around. So he's trying to make his way back through the field. Anthony Callahan up 1 position from the start of this race. Kermit Henny up 2 positions from the start of the race. Nick Giampa in the 26 Craftsman. And Scott Elston, P11. Good looking car. and then Chris Fleming, as we just saw with getting turned around. So here we are, getting on lap 35. Got the cars lined up, pace cars in, heading through 3 and 4 into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Once again, not a great jump from our leader, so we still have that battle right there. We have Justin Raymond hot on the heels of Brian Conover, not letting him pull away. But as we talked about early, we had Brian Conover, Connor Knowlton battling, and did that hurt their tires more than the other competitors? As we see Justin Raymond and Kyle St. Jean contact. Oh, he saves it. Oh, I think they're wrecking behind. We have a car around, pace car's out, so that contact.
My bad, 85. That's on me.
He saved it, and then he didn't. So let's see where this contact happened. Let's ride along with Justin Raymond here. Maybe hop on his nose. All right, so as you can see, he's right here. Decent drive off, he's really not pulling away. And then as they head into turn 3, once again, as we saw in the previous one, Justin Raymond just has a lower entry point. And with that lower entry, he carries a little bit more speed, gets into the back. But then I don't think that's where the incident actually happens. The contact happens. Justin Raymond backs out so as to not turn Brian Conover. Brian Conover is able to keep it under him. Does Justin Raymond straighten him back out, or does he just flat out save it? He saves it, but with all the checking up, that creates that accordion. And then we see Connor Knowlton once again spinning around. Big contact by Dakota. We see Kermit Henny checking up there. Anthony Callahan going around the outside. Oh, then late contact between, is that Nicholas Giampa turning around Scott Elston, who gets turned into the inside wall. Does he make contact? No contact for Scott Elston. Look at that. Save of the century. Let's see if he's sweating. Didn't phase him. Nothing phases Hellraiser. He's good to go. All right. So there is, I think, our third caution. Who's keeping count? Third caution of the race. Does not have to check up for the pace car.
My bad, 85. That's on me.
We heard Nicholas Giampa there apologizing to Scott Elston for the late turn, the infamous ARCA brake.
Hey, 97, I'm over here. Get out of the way, man.
We hear Kyle St. Jean telling 97 to get out of the way. So the caution must have came out at an odd time where it mixed up the lead. We'll see as race control gets this race under control. Make sure it gets the grid appropriate here for where the car is at when the caution came out, to make sure that everybody's in the right position that they're supposed to be in. But nearing halfway in this race, had some cautions, small contact, nothing nefarious, just hard racing. Trying to make a move. Championship race, got to leave everything on the table, want to go out and go out in style, end the season on a high note so you can come into season 1 with the momentum, confidence.
Hey, Brian, it's Kermit up in the booth. You got me?
Yes.
All right, leading this race, coming on halfway. How's it feel out there?
I mean, I was leading till Mello got me sideways and I lost my lead.
Yep, short track racing here. There will be contact. We're going to be coming to green here. Good luck to you.
Thank you, buddy.
So as we heard there, Brian Conover talking about leading, then the timing and scoring. Green flag here, time of scoring took the lead away from Brian Conover and gives it to our champion, who brings us to the green flag, Kyle St. Jean, leading this race, leading the point standings. Well, in fact, won the championship. Again, Ryan Cavey not in the field, the only driver eligible to catch him on points. Oh, we see drive main, perhaps hitting the inside wall, an unusual wall to hit as you just send it down there. I think you saw an opening from Kyle St. Jean, perhaps entering a little higher. Tried to make the move, but that wall definitely killed the momentum. Kyle St. Jean won 3 races this year, 3 consecutive races. As we see drive main and Justin Raymond once again having a little contact there. Let's go back. Let's hop in with Justin Raymond. We're going to ride along on his nose. Here we ride along. So we're with Ryan Conover here. We're going to ride along Justin Raymond. Looks like he has maybe a run. Definitely not there. We see Brian Conover coming down. Perhaps, but once we see Justin Raymond with that low entry that we've seen him take, and gets into the back of drive main. Brian Conover spins him around, and then from there he goes up, collects the outside wall. Let's see if there's any other damage coming from that. So he takes the outside wall. Car's checking up here. No damage. There's a car on the inside wall there. I believe that was Justin Raymond on the inside wall. So 2-car incident between Justin Raymond and Brian Conover brings out our, I believe, 4th caution of the race. But who's counting? 4th, 5th. Cautions for everybody. So again, I want to shout out Emblem Athletics, the official sponsor of the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. They provide tailored custom fitness gear for military and first responders, and of course 5.6 Graphics, the designer of choice for the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour, offering a paint for the champion. Emblem Athletics, let's talk about that. I reach out to them, ask them if they'd be interested in sponsoring. I had a phone call today with them, discuss how it would benefit both of us. We'll pause for the driver interview.
Hey, what's up, man?
Kyle, well, there's only one man in the standings that could catch you, and that's Ryan Cavey, and he's not in the field tonight. So congratulations on the championship. You're leading this race. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
All right. Good to hear, buddy. Well, good luck the remainder of this race.
All right, sounds good. Good luck, man.
So Kyle St. Jean, man of many words. So after discussing opportunities for how to sponsor the cohort and what we could do to work together to make sure that we find a middle ground that we can mutually benefit one another, Emblem Athletics was kind enough to offer championship shirts for the foreseeable future, really. So starting in season 1, we're going to have championship shirts for the regular season. We're going to implement a playoff system in season 1. So the regular season and the playoff ultimate champion, will receive a t-shirt in season 1 of your choice. Various options to choose from. So please go ahead and visit that link in the description if you're interested in buying any cohort merchandise. One thing I will say is that it's a non-profit merch store in that I don't receive money for the merch. It's more of building the cohesion among the cohort and just something we can wear to represent one another in the league that we all like to run in. So pace cars going to be in here. as Kyle St. Jean goes through 3-4 into the 5-6 graphics restart zone, leads us to green flag, blocks the 12 of Trevor Haley. There he is, guys. Trevor Haley, we talked about him earlier in this race, started up there, fell to the back. We're past halfway. Now he finds himself riding P2, chasing Kyle St. Jean for the lead. As it looks like he's poking to the inside. Does he have his inside? He's there. Maybe slight contact between Trevor Haley and Kyle St. Jean for the lead. Great battles up here. Top 5, 6, all right there, side by side. Kyle St. Jean sliding on the outside. Let's see if Trevor Haley can dive it in there. Keep the momentum through the corner. Perhaps another little contact there. Maybe a little door action. Oh, great battle here. I'll tell you what, let's ride and see if we can get a better look of whether or not we're having any door-to-door action here from the chase of Trevor Haley. As I say that, he clears Kyle St. Jean. Now we have Kyle St. Jean. Does he close the door on Kermit? Kermit's there. Kermit on the inside of Kyle St. Jean, leaves him plenty of space on the high side. I believe he's going to clear him here on corner exit. So now we have Trevor Haley, started this race second. Now he finds himself in the lead as we approach 55 laps here at Five Flags. Kermit Henney riding P2 with Zachary Wilt in the 04 Jegs, Ford Mustang in P3. Side-by-side battle between Anthony Callahan and Kyle St. Jean. Contacts! Oh, that's going to bring out a caution. Just as I talk about a side-by-side battle, let's go see and slow it down. So it looks like Anthony Callahan perhaps gets loose. Let's go and see if we can ride on the chase cam of Anthony Callahan as he makes heavy contact with that inside wall. Collects Connor Knowlton again. I tell you what, Connor Knowlton has found more incidents than he's gotten away with. So we're riding along here. Where's Connor Knowlton here? So let's go up to Callahan. Oh, it looks like he hits the apron. So he hits all those marbles down there, and I'm assuming he's going to drift up. Oh, does he get a little help? Does he get a little help from Connor Knowlton? Nope. So it looks like Anthony Callahan exits a turn, tries to stay off Kyle St. Jean, and in doing so, turns himself around, and that's what it's all about. And Connor Knowlton once again with the bad luck, spinning down the front stretch just as he was battling back. So there it is, another caution. But one thing we have yet to do, and that's talk about Season 1. So, Season 1 schedule. It's official, and here it is. This week, we're going to be 10 September, Stafford Motor Speedway, here in 2 days. Same time, 9 p.m. Qualifying will start at 9:30. Again, this is for the late model stock tour. We have more news coming after this, folks. We're going through the schedule: Stafford, Lanier, Martinsville, USA, Richmond, Five Flags, Bristol, South Boston, Nashville, and Concord will conclude the regular season. We're going to have a 10-week regular season with 3-week playoff. 3-week playoff being Southern National, Hickory, and North Wilkes. So if you're interested, please come join us. The season is starting September 10th, 9 p.m. for our late model stock tour. As we see Connor go ahead and repair some of that damage, perhaps using his fast repair. Seemed like a pretty quick pit stop there. Not sure if he used the fast repair earlier in the race or if that was it right there. But Connor definitely found his fair share of incidents here as we approach the 60 lap mark at Five Flags Speedway in our championship race in the Kohort late model stock tour. Once again, Kyle St. Jean, your league champion here in the pilot season, taking home the 5.6 graphics paint.
Hey, Trevor, it's Kermit up in the booth. You got me?
As we have a driver interview with Trevor.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Trevor. I believe it's your first time here at the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. You're leading this race. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I was able to get a good qualifying, and I fell back to save tire a little bit and work my way back up to the front. Hopefully I can hold on here.
Yeah, there was certainly some driving to navigate through some of those the wrecks early on. So we're coming 30 to go. Good luck on this last 30 laps.
Yeah, thank you.
Trevor Haley, first time here, doing what he has to do. You know, in position. Now that we're 2/3 through this race, I think that's exactly where he wants to be. I think that was the plan. Saving those tires early. 3-4, heading into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Trevor Haley leads the field. Kermit Henney, Kyle St. Jean, our league champion, and Zachary Wilt on his inside battling for P2. As we see Kermit Henney all over the back of Trevor Haley. Perhaps not a great start. Missed a turn for Trevor Haley. Allowed Kermit to close the distance there. Side-by-side battle between Kyle St. Jean and Zachary Wilt here in P3. Further in the back, we have other traffic going on. We have Connor Knowlton trying to navigate his way back through the field, going low, going high. We know he has the pace, so now it's a matter of how does he navigate around these guys as they're battling side by side themselves. Going 3 wide there would be an interesting move as we see Nicholas Giampa. Oh, contact. Oh, another caution.
Hey, sorry about that, man.
Looks like Kyle St. Jean apologizing on the radio, so let's ride along with Kyle St. Jean and let's see what happened here. So Kyle St. Jean's on the outside of Zachary Wilt. It looks like he's trying to pinch him down. Perhaps pinches him down a little bit too much as he apologized. Definitely trying to pinch him. You know, that's one way to keep the momentum. Maintain position on the high line. It comes down a little bit too far. Sends Zachary Wilt hard into the outside wall. Scott Elston comes and collects him. Salt on his wounds there from Scott. What a guy. So that's our 36th
Hey,
caution
sorry about that, man.
of the race. Is there more drama unfolding as I hear more carnage? Alright, so we're back under caution. Trevor Haley leading the race still. Kermit Henney P2. Dakota Malore P3. Board Sauce Kyle St. Jean riding along in 4th. Nicholas Giampa up to P5.
97, I'm sitting anywhere.
We have one car out of this race. Justin Raymond is out of the race. So we have 11 cars left in the field. Scott Elston and Zachary Wilt going in, repairing some damage from that incident on lap 65. So once again, spoiler alert, you can see there's 30 laps left. Stay tuned. We have some more drama coming. So, one thing not mentioned is the introduction of the SK Modified
Connor,
series.
Kermit up in the booth. You
We'll
got
pause
me?
for the driver interview.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I know you raced a few late model leagues. First time seeing you here in the cohort. How's it feel out there?
Dude, it's a lot of fun, man. Controlled chaos, just like every other late model stock race. It's a lot of fun. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining in. Hopefully you can make your way back to the field. I know you're up front early on. Good luck as we close in on 20 to go.
That's good. Thank you.
All right, so there it is. Interview with Connor Knowlton. First time here, and as we've seen on these replays, has been involved in over half of these incidents tonight. But a feeder series into the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour, 8 o'clock Eastern. We're running SK Modified Series. We're doing an abbreviated 3-race season to see what participation looks like. But if you're interested, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Kohort SK Modified. It's going to follow the same schedule, simulate as if we're racing the same night with the Late Model Stock Tour. So same schedule as far as Stafford, Lanier, and USA. As we head for the green flag once again, Trevor Haley leading the field 2x2 into out of turn 2. Have some bobbing and weaving back there. Kyle St. Jean on the outside, trying to fight back and hold on to P4 as we have Connor Knowlton himself back up in P4, doing what he needs to do. No idea how this man is in P4 after he got involved in every incident. Now we have Kyle St. Jean doing crossover, getting back on the inside of Connor. So let's see what Connor does on the outside now. Not sure how often Connor was able to run on the outside. See if he can fight back and clear Kyle St. Jean here. I hate to say great battle. I feel like every time I say great battle, it results in an incident. But we'll see. It looks like Kyle St. Jean's gapping a little bit on the inside. So perhaps Connor concedes that position, does a crossover himself. Oh, hits the apron, loses it. Definitely the move that he was trying to go for there. So probably regroup as we see perhaps a battle for the lead. There it is. Crossover from Kermit getting on the inside. Trevor Haley looked like he hit the apron, made the car a little unstable, opened up the door for Kermit. Doesn't shut the door, leaves the inside line open. Side by side. Yep, still side by side heading in turn 1. And as they go down the backstretch into turn 3, still side by side. Out of turn 2 they go, as we see Kermit clearing Trevor Haley for the lead. New leader, Kermit Henney with 20 to go. Trevor Haley, P2, Dakota Malore looking to the inside of Trevor Haley. Ooh, has to lift. Heavy turn to stay off. Trevor without making contact there. Good racing from Dakota there to lift and avoid making contact. So now we have a 3-car breakaway. Kyle St. Jean back in P4. Slight gap as Connor Knowlton chasing him down. We knew that Connor had the pace. Is there a yellow? Looks like we have a yellow flag. Let's see where the incident is. Maybe Anthony Callahan. Let's go look. So sure enough. So we have Anthony Callahan getting loose there. I think it's going to happen on the next turn. Let's go see right here. I wonder if maybe a far chase might give us a better angle. Yeah, so Zachary Wilt drives it in a little bit too deep. Gets Anthony Callahan spinning around for our 622nd caution here tonight at Five Flag Speedway with Chris Fleming. Just saying hello. Just give him a little door action. Making sure that Anthony Callahan's not hurt. Let's go see if he's phased. He's doing a slow look, probably over at Zach. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, brother? Just let me go. Let me go. So there it is. Another caution. Anthony Callahan, Zachary Wilt making contact. So it's just tough racing. You know, maybe getting in a little bit too deep. But, you know, 17 to go. And that's with the, assumingly that's the overtime on the timing and scoring tower here. 17 to go, so it's go time for these guys. So up front, we still got Kermit Henney. Trevor Haley riding P2. Dakota Malore, P3. Kyle St. Jean, our champ, holding on to P4. You know, Kyle St. Jean also a Ryan Preece fan. So we have a few Ryan Preece fans here. I think Connor refers to him as Ryan MF Preece. You can fill in the gaps there. Nicholas Giampa. Good race for him. Looks like clean race car. Zachary Wilt, we just saw involved in that last incident. Scott Hellraiser Elston, still charging forward in his live RC Chevrolet. Brian Conover with some contact early. Still finds himself back there, not able to drive back through the field. Perhaps the tires gone away. You know, which brings up another talking point, is that Connor Knowlton, the amount of times that he's spun throughout this race and still somehow able to drive through the field. Very impressive what he's been able to do here tonight. Staying in contention despite all the contact. So we're going to get doubled up here. We're going to get ready to go racing with, you know, less than 15 to go. Kermit Henney leading the field. Trevor Haley on his outside. I think pace car is going to dip in here as they head through 3 and 4, heading into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Kermit Henney leads them. Trevor Haley holding strong on the outside. Oh, looks like Kermit might have missed it. It's going to give Dakota a slight opening. Oh, Dakota tries to send it in. Oh, Kermit oversends it. Oh, big contact. Oh, my. Oh, my. Nicholas Giampa riding the wall. Oh, my Lanta. Kermit Henney wrecks from P1, takes out Trevor Haley, P2, who we've seen. It appears Kermit Henney car is broken. He's going to have to tow. Let's rewind here and let's see. Let's slow-mo Nicholas Giampa here. As he's going full Blues Brothers, riding the wall. This is fantastic. That's wonderful. Craftsman tough right there. I wonder how he lands this. Does he biles it? Oh, he's flipping. He's flipping. Oh no. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Oh, he's gonna have to tow. After having a clean race, we just talked about him having a clean race car. Now he finds himself on his dome. All right, so let's go ahead and see what happened here. Yeah, so it looked like Kermit drove it in a little bit too deep to avoid Dakota getting in the back of him, and that caused him to come up the track, make contact with. We'll pause it here. Let's see if we can see from the far chase view. So as you can see, we have Trevor Haley running that second line. Kermit off the apron there. Misses mark. He's going to drift above those lines. Self-turn himself. Yeah, and we see Kyle St. Jean getting in the back of Trevor Haley, who was probably trying to lift for Kermit, but what's done is done there. So Kermit Henney leading the race, misses mark, turns himself. Unfortunately, collects Trevor Haley, who has fought all race to get back up front. You know, once he got back up there, 30, 40 to go, was holding that position, had the pace. Now we saw him drop back early, so probably had the tires. But now look who's peeking in at the bottom of our screen, folks.
Thought I held my line. I'm not sure. That was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 12. My bad for getting in the back of you. I saw you guys going across, and I just had no spot.
Best point finish of the night, gone just like that.
Yeah, we hear the drivers chatting here. Trevor Haley asked, thinking he's held his line. Nicholas Giampa talking about having a clean race, being taken away. Kyle St. Jean apologizing for getting in the back of Trevor Haley. Yeah, a lot of contact there. All stemmed from what I believe to be the 48 of Kermit Henney missing his entry and then drifting up through the middle there and self-turning himself on Trevor Haley's nose. and then collecting some cars there. But once again, shout out to Emblem Athletics for coming on board with Kohort Late Model Stock Tour, offering us merchandise for the champion of the regular season and playoffs. And of course, thank you to 5-6 Graphics providing a paint for the league champion here in the pilot season. That paint will go to Kyle St. Jean. Look forward to seeing that paint here in season 1 starting next week, September 10th. Stafford Motor Speedway, 80 laps, followed by Lanier and Martinsville. And again, our SK Modified series is going to follow this exact schedule, 40 lap races. Session opens up at 8, 15-minute practice. So you should be able to finish the SK Modified race and then directly hop into the late model race. So if you're interested in running those SK Modifieds, here's your schedule, 40 lap races, 8 p.m. The session will open, 8:15 qualifying, then you can hop in our 9 p.m. session in the late model stock tour at Stafford Motor Speedway Sunday night. Hope to see you there. So here we are, less than 10 to go. We have Kyle St. Jean, our champion, on the front row once again, heading through 3 and 4 into the 5-6 Graphics restart zone. Great restart by Dakota Malora on the inside there. Connor Knowlton, the man drive main, as we see. Familiar faces back up front as we've all shuffled. All the front runners earlier in this race have kind of found themselves back in the front. As we see Brian Conover go around at the bottom of our screen. Let's go see what went here. So we have Brian Conover drifting up the track a little bit. And then Zachary Wilt making contact with his outside bumper. If I'm being honest, kind of looked like Brian Conover did the exact same thing Kermit Henney did, except the car wasn't already on his outside to self-turn, and Zach Wilt wasn't expecting him to drift up as high as he did. You know, he was accelerating out of that turn at that point. So I think it was just bad timing of missing your mark, drifting up the track, and then Zach Wilt just trying to, get out of the exit or exit turn, So I think that's going to push us into our first overtime of the night. Scoring and timing is now saying 7 to go. So at this point, I think we're on lap 89 since we finished on lap 96. Spoiler alert. So 7 to go. That was a great restart. Probably the best restart we've seen of the night by Dakota Malora there. First time we've seen the leader really gap the field heading into turn 1. Connor Knowlton, once again, familiar face, finds himself back on the front row. Dakota Malora up 5 positions. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to give Dakota Malora a little love, and we're going to give him the Toyota Prius Prime mover of the race. Let's get that tower out of here so we can get it looking good. Dakota Malora, our Prius Prime mover of the race. Congratulations to you. Hopefully you can finish this race. You're leading it. See if you can make it happen. So it looks as if that previous incident took Kermit Henney out of the race as well. So now we have 2 cars out of this race. We have a 10-car field. Nicholas Blues Brothers Giampa had to repair some damage as he found himself upside down, had to tow to the pits. So now he finds himself 4 laps down. Brian Conover, as we saw in that incident, was just breaking top 3 again, but now he's back in 9th. 4 to go. Let's see what magic can happen here as we're approaching what should be our final restart of the race. So this is it. Championship race here at Five Flags Speedway. Dakota Malora leading the field. Connor Knowlton has spun around arguably as many times as laps he's done here tonight at Five Flags. Finds himself back on the front row. Down 1 from where he started. As mentioned, he was our pole sitter. All right, lined up 2 by 2 as we look to hopefully be our final restart. 3 to go. Pace cars in. Heading through 3 and 4 into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Dakota Malore, not a great restart. Not anything like we saw last time. See Connor Strong on the outside. Closes the door on Dakota Malore. Takes the lead from the outside line. Dakota Malore forfeits the lead on a restart. We were just high praise on his restart ability. And he's perhaps sleeping on the restart zone. It gives Connor Knowlton a great jump. And Connor Knowlton's has this race in the bag. If he hits his marks here in 3 and 4. Oh, I heard contact back here. Connor Knowlton wins the race. We'll go check the replay, see what chaos is ensuing back here. But Connor Knowlton, first time at the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour, brings it home P1. Let's go see what is going on back here. We see our champion sliding. Oh my. All right, so we have, no, let's go a little bit. All right, what do we got here? Let's pause this. Let's break this down because there's a lot happening, a lot to unpack here. So we have Kyle St. Jean running P4. He sends it in. Looks like gets a little loose. Nope. Makes contact with Anthony Callahan. That turns them 2. And then we have the 12 of Trevor Haley smashing into Anthony Callahan. Kyle St. Jean hits the outside wall, goes up, blocks the track. Zach Wilkes gets into the back of him, sends Kyle St. Jean back into the outside wall. Scott Elston makes contact with Trevor Haley, sends him spinning. Then we have maybe Brian Conover just absolutely plowing the entire field. Chris Fleming spinning around there on the inside, making a nice little helix. We have 3 cars going backwards on the track, making contact with the inside wall. Brian Conover, demolition derby style, absolutely destroys. Oh my goodness, absolutely destroys Trevor Haley. Demolition derby, finishes this race backwards. And then Kyle St. Jean, your league champion, is going to finish the championship race backwards as, I don't know, maybe 3 others. He crosses the finish line backwards. Anthony Callahan crosses the finish line backwards. Man, Brian Conover with the hardest hit of the season there. Also finishes the race backwards. So 3 cars finishing the race backwards. Let's goodness. Let's go ahead and go live and see if we can get in some driver interviews with the podium finishers. Man, that was chaos. That was chaos at the checkered. With the drama that unfolded, the
Top 3 hang out for a driver interview, please.
The Prius Prime mover of the race actually goes to Anthony Callahan, who was able to gain positions late in the race. Dakota losing that position to Connor Knowlton gives the Toyota Prius Prime mover of the race to Anthony Callahan.
Dakota, we got Kermit up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
Tell you what, there was a lot of corners going out there tonight. You managed to bring it home P2. How'd it feel?
Oh man, P2 feels like a win to me. Connor got an awesome restart there, and I was like, you know, if I lose to anybody, that's fine. I'll take it. So yeah, the car felt great. Avoided a lot of wrecks. For not having a lot of practice this week, this feels pretty good.
Yeah, on that last restart there, looked like you started on the inside row. Kermit spun out before you and looks like gave you a prime position to take the lead. But yeah, Connor on the outside on that restart. Talking about that restart he had.
Yeah, I tried to kind of fool everybody going at a different spot and ran out of time to fool anybody. So he knew where I was going, and he got a really good run into turn 1 there and just was able to clear me, and he was gone. He was hauling all the way down the backstretch.
Yeah, 10-4. That restart zone's pretty short here at 5 Flags. Great run though, bringing home P2. Like I said, there was a lot of carnage out there. Brought home a clean looking race car. Any shout outs to anybody?
No sponsors yet, but like I say, if anybody's out there listening, if I can keep this top 3 thing a habit, thank y'all for putting this on. It's been a great pilot season, and I can't wait for the first official season.
Thanks, sir. We're working on getting you a sponsor, and we'll see you in season 1.
Thank you very much.
Connor Knowlton, first race here in Kohort late model stock tour, bringing it home P1. Talk to me.
It was an up and down night. We came from the front, started in the front, then went to the back, front, back. I was back and forth. Pitted about halfway through, and I was getting ready for one of those restarts about halfway through, and I knew I needed to get back up front. And once I got up to the top 5, I knew I had a shot at it.
Yeah, you certainly, you probably paced the field as far as the passes tonight. As you mentioned, starting in the front. I know you fell back. We did that mid-race driver interview. Looked like you had a great restart there on that green-white checker. Talk to me about that restart for you.
I had seen that he had done route right towards the end of that restart zone, and I just had to time that right. And I knew that I saw him in my mirror, and I just turned down. I didn't get the clear from my spotter yet, but I figured it's the last restart. I got to go for it, and it just pulled off. And I like starting on the outside here. If I had much chance of lane choice here, I'd probably start on the outside because you can drive off the straightaway better, and I from there just hitting my marks and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, definitely a restart to write home about. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to all my boys back at JPT Racing, all the boys back there helping me get good at late model stocks, open modifieds, tour mods, SKs, all that. It's a good bunch of guys, and they're helping me learn a lot because I'm still pretty new to this.
Well, I'll tell you what, you put on our show tonight here in the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. Appreciate you joining. Hope to see you in season 1.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, Zach Wilt was having radio issues. Let's see if we can get him up here for driver interview. Zach Wilt, coming out of the booth. You got me?
Yep.
All right, sir. There's a lot of carnage out there. Bringing it home P3. Glad we got this radio issue taken care of. How'd it feel out there?
Honestly, it didn't feel too bad. This battle going back to the front. I mean, I was in a lot of collisions, but I somehow, some way sneaked away from P6 to P3 on that last lap. So, guess it worked out.
Yeah, it was definitely a battle of the wheels out there tonight. A lot of drivers made it to the front, found themselves back in the back, and as we saw here near the finish, a lot of those drivers that brought home the podium finish were back in the rear at some point in the race. Any shout-outs for tonight?
No, not really. I don't have any sponsors or anything.
All right, Zach. Well, we really appreciate you coming in the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. This concludes this pilot season, but we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see you in season 1.
Yep, definitely.
All right, buddy. Cheers. Well, there it is. Championship race. Connor Knowlton bringing it home. P1. Trevor Haley. This can't be the right standings. Let's just go ahead and get that off. So what we got, championship's over. Kyle St. Jean won the pilot season. But what we have starting here, September 10th, season 1, Stafford Motor Speedway, 80 laps, 9 p.m. Our session will open. And you can start the chase for the Emblem Athletics championship merchandise, as well as a full paint from 5.6 Graphics. So thanks for joining in for the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. Once again, I'm Kurt Henney, and I hope to see you in Season 1, Stafford, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Cheers.